Hello, good evening. It's Wednesday, so we're going to have a bit of a play, and I'm going to be naughty. I'm going to play with a stamp that isn't on the website yet, but it will be soon. I meant to do it the other day and I completely forgot. Evening, Maxine. Hi, Tracy. Hi, Noala. Hi, Sarah. Now, apologies if you are watching on YouTube. It cut out on us on Monday night and I didn't notice, so I do apologise. I will be keeping a better eye on that tonight. So yeah, apologies. I will be putting the full video up as well on YouTube, probably later in the week. So yeah, Wednesday we're going to be playing with a new stamp. I'll show it you. I haven't even got it packaged because it's in my pile to package for Saturday. So here it is. So you'll remember we had this little one to go inside our bulb. Yep. I've asked lots of you asked if we could have it bigger, so I've done it. It is bigger and it's there, and it's what we're going to use tonight. Evening, Mum. So should we get going? I think so. Let me move this over. It is going to be a really simple one tonight. I know I've been trying to be all organised. I'm going to move that before I go and open it, and I don't need it. So my idea is, move that out of the way. We're going to use our little flourish, our floral. I can't even remember what it's called. Yep, it'll come back to me. We're going to use our flourish in the bottom corner and in our top corner. We're then going to, I've got some texture stamps because I enjoyed playing with them the other night. And I've got a couple of sayings now. I'm not quite sure which one we use. We might use the big one, or we might use that smaller one. Yeah, so that's what's on my desk. The new big one and some texture stamps. So I've got two of probably the original texture stamps, Dotties and Chicken Wire. Can't remember its name then. Oh, Sarah's moved over to YouTube. Well, you can tell me if it goes off then. It did, it just cut out for no reason on Monday. I've lost track of my days this week. Days are not my friends this week. So I've got a cut down 6x6. I think this is 5 3/4 in front of me. And I've grabbed two colours. I've got my yellow and my green. And I'm just going to start with that. Got bits of polymer everywhere tonight. And there we go. So I've just popped a little bit onto my acetate, because I want to be specific about where I put my ink. I know, big word for a Wednesday night, that. There we go. So I've gone with mustard seed, and we're just having a bit of splatting action. Bit of smooshing going on there. I'm going to turn it around, and I hope I'm going to get both corners out of this. I was going to go with gamboge, but I thought, you know what, let's do a bit of oxide instead, because we haven't. Well, we do. We play that oxides quite a lot, don't we? But I fancied splodging it. So we've got our mustard seed on there. Okay. Decided to make a right mess then. There we go. So I'm going to dry this one, and then I've got. I was looking for peel paint, but I couldn't find it. I've got bundle sage, which will look just as good. So I just want very, well, I was going to say pale colours, but mustard seed isn't pale, is it? Evening, Lynn. There we go. I'm just going to dry this off, because if we don't dry it between our colours, you'll get smooshed together, and that doesn't look very good at all. I'm just going to make sure it's all nice and dry before we do our next colour. And definitely, if you're going to be stamping over with your Versafine Clairs, or your Versafine, oxide always needs to be dry. Oh, Lynn's Monthly Makes arrived. Cool. It does work wonderfully with last month's as well. Evening, Susie. There we go. Right, so I'm going to do exactly the same, but I'm going to use my bundle sage. Like I say, normally I'd use my peel paint, but it wasn't there. So just a few little dabs of my bundle sage, and then we'll splatter this one on as well. And what it should do actually, using bundle sage rather than peel paint, is just knock this bright yellow back a little bit. Not that there's anything wrong with mustard seed, but can you see it just knocks that colour back ever so slightly. Let's do a little bit down here. I'm just popping bits and pieces wherever I fancy. Ooh, that was a bit green. Now bear in mind as well, we're going to be putting a saying in the middle of this card, so I'm not really worried about splodging my middle. Do a look at that, I've got a big gap there. There we go, right. Sarah's already got hers as well, that's cool. Can't believe it turned up so quickly. Because where did we send them? We sent them Monday, didn't we? There we go. I was going to say. I was going to ask Tracy as hers turned up, because she's always the one that takes a while, don't you, Tracy? Not you personally, but you posty. I think it goes a tour around the country, drops everybody else's off first, and then makes it way to you. For saying that, I had something that took 2 weeks to get to me. I wasn't expecting it. They do work nicely together, don't they? The mustard seed and the bundle sage. It, like I say, not normally. It would normally be peel paint I went for, but actually, it's done what I wanted it to do and knocked it back quite a bit. Tracy's no sign yet. There you go. I can always, you know, use Tracy to find out, you know, whether the boxes have turned up. Because if Tracy's got hers, I can pretty much guarantee everyone else will. So I'm going to grab my little. Sorry, Tracy. Sounds like I'm picking on you. I'm not. So I'm going to use. I think this is the very first one we ever designed. But he is a goodie. And to be fair, you won't see much of him because I've done a bit of a splotty background, haven't I? But we're just going to use our dots. Just ink him up and splat him on. And there's no right or wrong with this, you just splat it on wherever you fancy. Because remember, we're going to have flowers and flowers. Yep. So that's what I've got in my head. I'm kind of building it around what I know we've got coming. So if I wanted to, I could check. Where's my stamp gone? There he is. When I put this on here, do I need to make it a little bit taller or a little bit fatter? But to be fair, I'm going to do it a bit of a jaunty angle, and that should work quite well. And I know I don't normally ink up between each one, but I also know I've got mustard seed and it is quite a pale one, and I'm going to trying to fight against that bundle sage, so I am inking it up between each one this time because I want it to. Can you see that? I want it to stick out a bit. Yeah. If I kept doing it second and third generation, it wouldn't stand out quite as much. Yep. Right. So I'm quite happy with that. I'm just going to give my stamp a quick spritz because it's oxide and it's the only time you ever see me cleaning a stamp. No, ours has arrived too. I can't wait to see. Well, I can't wait to launch it next week and then see everybody's makes with it. I've got to say that is one of my. I think it's going to become one of my favourite poly plates. And before you ask, yes, there will be a smaller version of that poly plate too, because I know you like your minis as well. Because I was umming and ahhing whether you were getting the big one or a smaller one. You ended up with the bigger one, but the smaller one is here as well. Didn't look quite as impressive with a smaller one. Oh, sorry, Noella, I missed you. I didn't mean to. There we go. Right, so I've got a rather... You can tell this is one of my favourites, isn't it? Good old chicken wire. So I'm just going to add my bundle sage. I'm not introducing any more colours because you know what? The moment I do that, our eyes start to get a bit confused. And I don't want them to get confused. I want them to be looking at the lovely flowers we're going to stick on top in a minute. I'm going to ink up the whole stamp because I haven't decided which way I'm going to stamp this yet. I do it like that. So with this one, you just link him up. Get him somewhere close. Though it does help if you've cleaned your stamp. Makes it a whole lot easier to see through. Whereas in my case, I'm just kind of going, it's somewhere around that. There you go. Oh, that'll do. There or thereabouts. Yeah. See-through stamps are so much easier when you can see through them. When you're lining them up. I was going to splodge that one right in my corner. You could have spritzed this before you put it on again, because you know that gives you a lovely look as well. And let's go for that one. If it's really guesswork. There we go. So I'm just lining them up so we can extend this as much or as little as we want. Right. So I'm quite happy with that background. There we go. We could put the little flowers on that we did on Monday night on that, couldn't we? Or you could stamp a lovely solid, one of the solid, what are they called? Spring flowers ones. I haven't played with them in a while. Right, don't know why I took that off because I'm going to put that back in there. I know it's not the right packaging for me. Coffee stain. I couldn't find them. I should admit, these are the ones I use all the time. My ratty look like they've been dragged through edge. And then I've got my cleaner ones. Yeah, which I try and use on the lives and things. But I couldn't find my nice packaged chicken wire. I must have gone through them all. Right, I'm going to leave that there. I'm going to dry this first because I'm going to pop some Versafine over the top. And you know, if oxide is wet, when we go to put that Versafine on top, it's going to go, nah, not having that at all. Don't want to be there. So we need to make sure this is all dry. That's really bad lining up. I've just seen it, you see. Yeah, don't look too closely at that bit. Ooh. Come on, there we go. It sorted itself out. So I'm just going to give this a quick whiz with the heat gun. Okay. And you know when I say I want this dry, because we do. We don't want, you know, touch dry is okay, but we want it so it's properly dry. Sometimes you can get away with it just, you know, on the edge, but no, we need this good and dry. Right, hoping that's okay. If not, I've got my trusty gel pen somewhere. There we go. Right, so I'm just giving it a bit of a wobble because I've decided to make it all curl up. There we go. Right, and then we're going to take this big beauty. I'm going to ink it up. Keep going. There we go. Lots and lots of little tapping there. I should start like a little tune with it, shouldn't I, when I'm using the little ones. There we go. Right, so I'm just stamping this over that background, giving it a good press because I am on potentially wet oxide, though we have dried it hopefully enough. You can see the size of these is a lot different to that little one. Take that off, fingers crossed. Yay! I'm going to turn it. I think I'm going to do it a little bit closer to the corner on this one. So I'm just going to start inking it up again. Lots and lots of ink. Doo-doo. I will get myself out a new VersaFine Claire. I know I keep saying it. I keep forgetting as well. There we go. Right, so I hope I've inked that up enough. So much easier with a bigger ink pad, isn't it, sometimes? And then we're going to pop this one. I'm going to do it right here. Don't know who I'm trying to kid, my fingers don't want to press. Oops, I've moved it now so it's going to come off. There we go, that's better. So, not quite sure which way we're going to go with this, maybe that way. But it is telling me we're going to go with the smaller saying, because I think that bigger saying is going to be way too much. Because we're going to take too much of our flowers out, whereas that little one, they're both friendship sayings. There we go. And I think we'll do that way. Could look interesting. That could look interesting doing it that way. Sorry, my big meaty hands are in the way. Do apologise. Yeah. But I'm not, I'm going to do it that way. Only because it feels a bit odd, flowers going sideways. There's not many flowers that grow sideways. Yep. So, I'm going to go with the smaller one. Not that that matters for the moment. There we go, just get it a good dry with our heat gun. Because we're going to add some colour now. I can't decide whether we go stick with our, should we, right, I'll ask you guys, should we stick with our oxides, go with our inks, or go with a bit of brush, or can't decide, so you guys can decide. Oxides, ink, or brusher, which one should we go with? Because we proved the other week that it doesn't really matter which one you use, you can still get an amazing effect with it. There we go. There we go. So Sarah was saying about joining the group. Absolutely, we've got a group over on Facebook, the Crafty Roos. I've not been that active recently in there. I will get better. Because she wants to share some of her monthly make makes. Yeah, we do ask, because obviously, like, Tracy's never turns up for a week. That we don't share it until we've launched, which will be the following Monday. So with your monthly makes, we try and keep it a secret until it like comes through your door, so everyone knows I will be posting next Monday. So if you want to know what it is and it's not arrived, then watch on Monday. If not, we're not going to share anything about it until after So it'll be like the following week I share it. I hope that makes sense. Lynn says brush all. Okie dokie. Oh, lime green. We don't want lime green, do we? We might want lime green. Let me grab some colours. I think we are going to go Alzerian Crimson. Beautiful pink popping out on that flower. And we want a green, which might be lime green because I can't see leaf green. Actually, leaf... Oh! Rolled over something I shouldn't then. Leaf green is over here for some reason. Oh no, that's emerald green. So far I have found emerald green, olive green, moss green, leaf green. Thank you, mister. He turned up. There we go. So, you know how it goes. Let me make myself a bit of a paint palette going on. I'm going to start with my green. I always like starting with the leaves first, because once you've done your flowers, then that's like the it's like the pop, isn't it? So if you start with your leaves first and it looks alright, then you move on to your flowers, you know it's going to look amazing. Lynn says she knew I was going to use the Alzerian Crimson. Absolutely. It's a cracking colour. It was either going to be that or the turquoise, and I remember doing turquoise not so long ago because I've got a pot of it looking at me. A little one Bear made the other week. It's all dried up. It's quite cool. It looks like little Christmas trees in there. Can you see? And that'll reactivate as soon as I put a bit more water in it, so it just sits on my desk until I need it again. So we're going to start off with our leaves. So just grab your brush out. If you had your oxides or your inks, exactly the same. I'm just going to add a little bit of water to it so we get a nice juicy colour. And then just start painting it on. I'm going to do a few at once and then come back and start putting deeper colour in. Now remember, underneath this we've got oxide. Whether we'd used oxides, brush-os or distress inks, it really don't matter, because guess what? They're going to move. Yep. As soon as you hit it with water, it's going to reactivate, whether you want it to or not. So it's going to go a bit more muted, it's going to go a bit more, well, the detail's going to go, so it's going to bleed a little bit. But that's okay, because it's basically we're erasing the background, aren't we? And I'm putting on too much water. I'm getting carried away. And there is one cheeky little petal, leaf in here, which I'll do a completely different. I'll do it green, not just. There we go. So I'm just adding a little bit more of our brush out. So picking up the raw stuff, just dragging it out. That looks pants. Let's go in and sort that out. Thank you. Yep, technical term, pants. There we go, so just adding a little bit and letting the brush do its thing instead of me having to do it. Move the pink out of the way, it's going to end up with Alzerian Crimson everywhere. To be fair, violet would have looked quite good as well. Drying a bit too much. There we go. So I'm just playing with whatever water still sat on my card, adding that raw brush-o in, and it does all that work for me. But again, if you had your inks or your oxides, it's exactly the same. You just pop it on your desk and go from there. But it is easier if you turn your card round. Just pop your brush on, let it drag out. Ooh, That's very dark, isn't it? Put a bit of that dark stuff there. And whilst we're on this one, and I don't want to forget, I'm going to start with some of this darker stuff and paint it onto this little petal down here. Leaf even. Leaf petals, I get there. Do that one as well while it's still on my brush. And then we're going to start again. I'm going to take some of the moisture out of my brush again. There we go. And just start adding. It's so relaxing, isn't it? Just painting away. So I don't know whether you can class this as painting, it's just slopping a bit of colour. Because I don't really do much. So again, I'm just going to go back in, picked up my raw brush out. If you wanted to, you could pick up your oxide or your ink. If it doesn't quite move properly, just go grab a little bit of water and drag it out. And so you're happy with it. Oh, I missed the whole one out there. There we go. So just adding it. It's easier if you pull it away from the stem stalk, isn't it? Except I wasn't doing that one, was I? I was doing this one over here. I looked at it then and went, no, I'm sure I've not done that much. And I haven't. There we go. And I'm just going to, when I've finished doing this, I want to make sure I whack it with my heat gun again, so that basically the green brusho doesn't start running into my pink brusho, because we're working very close to each other. And I have just loaded a load of water onto this, so it all just merge together and make a bit of a mud. Right, there we go. Just clear that out. And then we'll get onto our pink once I've dried this. I have green everywhere. I didn't mean to. I bet if I turn this over, you'll see some patches where I've been really... Oh no! I was expecting to have gone through the card on that one, I didn't. Just check out that chicken wire in the background. Ooh. Can't beat chicken wire, can you? Got to say, it is one of the ones that, as soon as I say to Mr. Roo, I need chicken wire making, he doesn't come and check anymore the negative. He just goes, yep, and they'll make it for me. Right, I'm going to start with this one here. So again, I'm just going to drag a bit of water over to my brush out and get some very pale pink, because this is shocking pink, this one, isn't it? Let me just test it on a piece of, that should be okay. Too pale. So I'm going in very, very pale and very, very light to begin with. I've just managed to hit a bit of show with my brush. I'm going to work a flower at a time this time because these are our focal bits, aren't they? So I can't just do all the pale pink first. I need to go back in and start working on the shading on these. Otherwise, it'll start to dry too quick. There we go. Too much water in my brush, which is why it's not doing what I want it to do. And it might just be being awkward. Could be either, to be fair. See, I've gone a bit dark there, haven't I? So I'm just going to pull that out a little bit. There we go. Is that coming down here again? Oops. That's why I always end up with inky pinky marks on my work. My big fat sausage fingers end up in the middle of it. Maybe just keep dragging it out. But there's nothing complicated about the way about doing this. You just literally plop it on with loads of water the first time and then less water. Brush those case going with it raw and it looks amazing. You can see, can't you, we've got that oxide, the chicken wire just fighting back. I don't know if you can quite see. Yeah, you can just see there. It's almost like it's repelling the brush out, it's trying to not have that colour on it. So again, I have overloaded my brush with water. I'm going to take some off and start again. If it goes too dark, you just add a little bit of water and pull it out. In that case, really dark. Just need to add a little bit more here. Oops. So you can see, well, way too much there, so let's just add a little bit of water and just drag it up a little bit. Right. I'm going to take a little bit out of there because there's no way. There we go. We can do anything about that. There's lots of water in there, they're just flooding it with that bit. Oh, I've missed the green bit out there. I should stop pointing these things out, shouldn't I? You'd never have noticed. But I noticed. I always forget how powerful Alzarian Crimson is. Packs a punch. There we go, let it do its own little thing. Just go back in with a little bit. Boom, there we go. Then we're going to grab grab the other one. Again, I'm just going to drag it onto this one. Grab a little bit more water because my water, I had a bit of water there, but the brusher wasn't, it was kind of dragging on the table. Yeah, so I knew I needed just a little bit more water to make it flow a bit easier. So instead of having to like scoop up my paint, I just pop my paintbrush in and it does work for me. Grab some from up here. It's a little bit darker. Turn it round. Just keep moving in. Again, not sure if I've just been booted off. Yeah, I think I just got booted off on Facebook. Let's go a minute and see if it wants to come back. Rude of it, hey? I think we're still live. We are. But Facebook on my phone just went, so I can't see. Popping a bit more down here. That's a bit dark. I should really look at what I'm doing. It's only right though, because we got kicked off YouTube on Monday. Yeah, Facebook wants to remind us it wants a wobble too. Just bear with. Rude, rude, rude. Oh, technology, hey? Doesn't like me tonight. Do-do. There we go. Right, I'm back. Yay! Right, I'm back this time. Right, so let's keep going. See, playing with paints and glues and inks and all that type of stuff, I can handle. Technology, not so much. There we go. See, those ends are not quite blending in very well, are they? So a quick wiggle over with your water. Nobody will know it was a real bad paint job there. There we go. If you get too much on, you just dry off your brush and flick it back. There we go. Right, last one. Last one. Then we're going to give these a quick dry and then we might do a bit of splattering. Because at the moment it looks like pink flowers have just been dumped on that lovely background. Yeah, they're like two completely different things. We've got a background and we've got our flowers. So we want to pull the two things together, and the easiest way to do that is a bit of splattering. And it's fun. And it uses whatever ink's left on your desk. And I think I'm quite happy with that, apart from that bit, which we'll sort out, and that bit as well. There we go. Right, let's get that dry, and then I'll do a little bit of splattering. Yeah, the colours have worked really well. I think it's because we used bundle sage. It just toned down that mustard seed so well. And then it's interacting with our brush show. So normally what would be that really bright, vibrant pink, it's actually toning that back a little bit as well. I love it when things mix that you don't expect them to. But you can see it's still fighting that oxide on there. Right, I'm going to have to dry it again in a minute anyway. So I'm going to add a little bit more water to this, because whilst there's some water there, there's not enough to do a decent splatter. Now there's enough for a decent splatter. And then just gently tap your brush. Dunk, dunk, dunk. Or not so gently in my case. Right, there we go. Perfect. Yeah, the stamping this size is just going to be perfect. All you need to do is stamp it and put a sentiment with it, and it's just going to work so well. And then if you want it in a bulb, it's bulb size too. The amount of people that asked me to create it in a bigger one. And then of course you've always got your simple stems as well, which is taken from. So if you want it to go even bigger with a focal one, you could use a simple stem to that. Now I've got a bit of a Algerian crimson crime scene to try and tidy up, because no matter how much you clean up Algerian crimson, yeah, it's always there on your desk. Well, it's in my case. I'll be finding that for weeks. It's because it's so heavily pigmented. There's nothing wrong with the colour, it's just very, very heavily pigmented, which is what we love. I did do my brush. Oh no, I didn't. I might have done. There we go. Right, pop everything over there. You can see, can't you? If I go for that one now, we're just going to lose way too much. Yep, not happening. Whereas if we go for that one, we're not going to lose quite so much. Still on you. Could go that way. I don't think it looks right though, does it? Right, so before, just put my hand in a big blob of water. There we go. Right, so I've still not sharpened my pencil, but we'll give it a whirl again. We are just going to add a few little bits because it will just help. This is where you can spend lots and lots of time, or very little time, and create and come up with the little finishing touches, isn't it? Like your wrong side. This and your white gel pen, it's all those little bits that you do that take it from alright to looking even better. And if you've got any really bad bits where your painting's not the best, it hides it for you, which is the main reason I like to add a bit of charcoal around there. So there you go. If I hold that up, see one that's got it, one that's not. Yeah, it's just that little bit of pencil. I'm going to do this the opposite way. So I'm doing this on the top edge rather than the bottom edge that we just did. And I'm only going in very lightly with this. You could spend ages. And also if you had like a sharper pencil that actually went where you were putting it. So this one here I've made a right pig's ear of painting. But once I put that bit of charcoal on it, nobody knows. I'm getting more and more heavy-handed the further I go down this piece of card. Just coming back up to that one I forgot to paint. See? Quick 2-minute job. It completely transforms it, doesn't it? Right. I could put bits of white gel pen on if we wanted to as well. But I'm going to leave it for now. I'm going to move it over that way. Let's grab a piece of scrap. Ooh. I think that one might be a good one. And I didn't pull any colours out because I didn't any backing colours because I didn't know what colour we were going to do it, and I didn't want it to be black because I think black will be a bit too heavy on that. So I'm thinking green or a bit of brown card as my mat on it. So I've got Friends Make the World Beautiful. So before I do that, what we could do is, because we've got the smaller size stamp, just throwing everything on the floor, we could go and pop, because we've got a few lovely little gaps in this stamp, this saying. So we've got a bit down here that we could add a bit to, and we've got a bit up there. So I can't decide if we want to or not. Or will it look better just nice and plain? I think I'm going to leave it plain, but you could, if you wanted to, pop that on. And the reason I'm leaving it plain is it might just be too much because we've got a lot going on in that background. You'll put it down somewhere. It's like my ink scroll legs during the day. I swear they just move around my desk. There we go. Oh, it's not far from me. Ink off that now, wiping it. Just got butterfingers. Oh, I'll put that down there. Ding, ding, ding. I'm eyeballing Friends and Beautiful. You've got no chance lining anything up against them because they're wiggly woggly. However, Make the World, it's got a flat bottom. So Make Your World and your bottom of your card, that's what you're lining up. There we go. And I inked it up properly. Yay! Just give that a quick blast before I go popping it through the guillotine. Otherwise, I'm just going to make a mess, aren't I? It was stuck quite well to my card, so I know that's quite juicy. which is why I give it a quick. Quick whiz with the heat gun. Otherwise, I'm just eyeballing. So we might get away with a flower. Not sure. See if I can find a really quick bit of mat to do with it. Look at that, perfect. Can't decide if I want a little bit behind it. The reason I'm being hesitant, normally I'd be like, yeah, let's throw it on. Because we've used oxides, if I was to go back to my background colours, the oxide would go over that black ink and you wouldn't see it properly. Which is why I'm being a little bit hesitant and I'm thinking. There we go. You can see I've got twitchy fingers, haven't I? I am. Right. So we're going to take this one. You knew it was going to happen. Might have enough on that actually. Ooh, not with the inky pinky side on that. It's got our greys from the other night. So all I'm going to do, this bottom flower, this smallest one on here, we're just going to grab. Or if you had our advent calendar, that little one off there, you could use. But I've got the stamp in my hand, so I'm just taking a little bit off it. There we go. Come on. Would have been easier if I turned my stamp around there, wouldn't it? Right, and I should have left that pink Alzarian crimson on my desk. But that's okay. I think it'll just look really nice. We're going to do a bit of a doodly border around it, but I think it'll look quite nice if we just put a flower over the top as well. I wasn't going to, but I think it'll just work really well. So again, just like we did before, got some lots of water there. Ooh, that's very pink. I know, what a daft thing to say, you with my pink ink. I know. You know what I mean. It's very, very pink. To tone it down a little bit. Let's do the other one while we're here, because it's not big areas, is it? I'll go into this dark one. I'm going to start with this one because it was the first one I did. So if it's going to start to dry, this one will be the first one to dry. Yep, it's my brusher won't move on it as well. Trying to rush, and it's just making it look like a dog's dinner. We will recover in a minute. There we go. And all these bits that haven't quite mixed and merged, we're just going to go and fix with some cleanish water. Or some water would be good. There we go. just at the bottom. Drag it up. There we go. Right, and what you should find is these will be a brighter pink than those that were on top of our bundle sage. Oh, come on. I just like turning my desk pink, isn't it? And we might, after doing all this, we might go, no, I prefer it without these flowers on top. And that's okay. But that is about the size of the one that came in Advent calendar. So let's grab this little one. Let's move that before I create some spectacular inky pinkies. I've not had my gel pen the right way up. So should we do scratchy? Feels like a scratchy. Let's just do. And last one. Oops. I'm not going to put any wiggles and squiggles on it because we're going to be putting those flowers over the top. So with this one, I don't want to go over my flowers, I don't think. Oh, actually, I'm going to leave that one, I think. Because I'm just going to mat it onto white. That's what that looks like. I'm just going to leave that. I am not going to do anything else with that. I'm happy. I know I don't say that very often, but I am. I'm happy with that. So I am going to just do a little border around my flower. Oops. Oh, come on. Last little bit. There we go. Right. So obviously you would give that a bit of a... See? Yeah. Works, doesn't it? So I'll have the other one as well. Because if I was being really clever, I would line it up with one of these vines underneath. Which I may very well do when I come to stick it down. Ooh. Got a bit carried away with me cutting out then and nearly took out a petal. There we go. So again, I'm just going to give it that a little bit of shaping, and you get the idea. It's going to go somewhere like that. It really doesn't matter because it does look like they're coming up from out of there, doesn't it? If I wanted to, like I say, I could just add a little bit of black pen contour to make it look like it's come out from there. But there you go. I'm quite pleased with that. And I've got to admit, mustard seed and bundle sage, loving that one. It's not two that I would normally put together. I will openly admit I would have gone for peeled paint, and actually I was searching for it and I couldn't find it anywhere. So I'm glad it's gone walking off my shelf, because I think that bundle sage made it look just so much better. So there you go. That is the big one. that is the small one. There is quite a bit of a difference, isn't there? Bulb size, not bulb size. Yeah, definitely not bulb size. But there you go. So there we go. I have enjoyed that, and I think Alzarian Crimson, absolutely the best choice for that one. So where are we? There we are. So what else have we got on? This week we are in Birmingham on Saturday. So if you are anywhere near the Motorcycle Museum, do come in and say hello. It'll be the full team. Not quite decided what everyone's doing this weekend, but we'll get there. Thanks, Sarah. So yeah, anywhere near the Motorcycle Museum, do pop in and say hello. We'll be in the naughty corner as always. We'll have that make and take going, which will be bulbs. Yeah, we'll just be there having fun like we normally do. So it'd be lovely to see you if you are coming along. Oh, thank you, Elaine. And then we're back on Monday for our brand new monthly make, which it sounds like most of you have got yours, apart from Tracy, because Tracy's never turns up on time. Yeah, just rude, that, isn't it? But yeah, it sounds like most of yours have turned up. Yeah, can't wait to share that on Monday. So Saturday, Motorcycle Museum. Monday, back here at 7 o'clock to open our brand new monthly make box. So thank you for joining me tonight. I hope you enjoyed that. I've had fun doing that one as well. Yeah. Oh, watch out tomorrow. I have got only a few of the Christmas stamps being launched. So do watch out for that on our I was going to say FaceB then. On our Facebook page. That's because someone used to call it FaceB. So yeah, check that out tomorrow as well. So have a lovely rest of your evening. Take care, stay safe, and I will see you all very soon. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.